Hello, I'm with Catherine Coyne from the University of Delaware. She's a professor, and one of the areas that interests Kathy is microbes that live in extreme conditions. So I might tell you that Kathy has been in Alvin looking at the microbes a mile and a half underwater in deep sea hydrothermal vents, and now we're here in Antarctica looking at how microbes survive, if not thrive, in very cold and different extreme conditions. We've just had a walk, about a 45-minute walk, following the snow melt from some of the upper mountainside here, following that snow melt down, following the stream, and what we're looking for are cyano-bacterial mats to carry out some experiments on that. So I'm going to ask Kathy, what kind of experiments are you looking at doing here?
We're going to cover the mats with a shade material so that it will shade out different amounts of light, and then over the period of 2 weeks we'll come back and sample, and we're really looking at what the diversity of different microbes are in the cyano-bacteria mat. So you can imagine that as the sun is shaded, since the cyano-bacteria are photosynthetic, that they'll become less and less dominant in the material, and some of the other types of bacteria that don't rely on the sun will kind of take over. So it'll become a little bit more abundant.
So you're looking at the productivity of the cyanobacteria at different light intensities.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Relative to the other bacteria that are there.
Right, right. So you've got 4 or 5 different types of shades.
Exactly.
And then a control site as well.
Right.
So you can compare just how productive they are. And you mentioned the other types of microbes too, didn't you?
Right, yeah, the heterotrophic bacteria. So these are bacteria that will fix nitrogen, so they take nitrogen right out of the air and use it as a nitrogen source, but they don't rely on the sun for photosynthesis.
Right.
So if we use the shade material, then we imagine that the heterotrophic bacteria will probably become more abundant because they don't rely on the sunshine, and the cyanobacteria, which are also fixing nitrogen, will become less abundant. So it's a way of maybe mimicking what happens during the early spring or into the fall when the sun isn't as bright here, or there's not as much daylight as there is during the summer.
I see. Okay.
I'm going to go get some of the orange.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a nice mat there, isn't there?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to try to homogenize this as best as possible. So I can get kind of a representative sample. That's good.
Okay.
So we want to bring it up so that there's a little bit of liquid on top.